Hi, folks. This is Don and Linda with the North Country Fishing Report. And one of the things I know, Linda, you have been researching, and you had no idea about this, but we know that Aaron Hardy is now a guide for trout in our area.
That's
And
right.
his whole purpose is to help inform people about all the things about this wonderful species that we have here.
That's true. And Aaron has taken the lead with not only his guiding service, but he is kind of an information source. And one of the things that I've been following with his posts on Facebook has to do with Trout Unlimited. And this organization is very focused on preservation of the species, also informing the public and urging the public to get involved, whether through donation or through volunteer efforts, because they probably are part of a stocking program in some of our Adirondack waters, and that helps to ensure that the species continues for anglers to enjoy.
Well, you know, Linda, Trout Unlimited has been in place for years and years and years. Some of my oldest friends that I've talked about before, how we developed together as friends fishing, they were part of Trout Unlimited. That was really important to them. And it's like any organization, you know, you can criticize any of these major big organizations because you can say there's exploitation or whatever. But this stands for some of the great things that you're talking about. And that's what Aaron wanted people to know. That was his recommendation, that people discover Trout Unlimited and become part of it if they can or if they would like to, because it exists to keep that species going. Trout are, to me, one of the most special species we have of sport fish. They're beautiful. They represent the past. They represent the deep, special clear waters that were once so much a part of our area, like all the ponds and lakes in the Adirondacks. But trout are very special. And by joining or becoming more informed with Trout Unlimited, you can become far more informed about this species. You know, we talk about protecting our bass so that we can continue to have tournaments and bring families from all over the country here to visit and explore our area. Well, it's the same with every species. Trout, you know, we have to protect the wonderful trout fishing we have. And part of the ways that we can do that is learning more about them. You know, we have to understand that the trout population that we have in this area is some of it is natural and some of it is because the state stocks trout that they raise in hatcheries in these waters. And it's important to know which are which. You know, we have such a vast array of different type of waters that trout live in, from little brooks that trickle through down to the mountain streams and to several of the streams that we have that the state does stock. And then we've got ponds in our area, and these ponds are different. They offer a different type of fishing than you'll ever experience in a stream if you can get in that pond. And a lot of the fish in the ponds are natural. They're naturally there from way back. They're species that survived through the years, and these fish are really special. But we have to learn how to keep them going, and that's what Aaron has done. He's done so much to mark some of these areas with signs that people can see that you can't bring artificial baits in, especially minnows, because they can completely destroy these fisheries.
Yes.
And the other thing that I think is really important is that that you learn how to handle these fish, because trout are very unique in that they have the slime that covers their body is their resistance system.
Their protective mechanism.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's really important that when we handle them, we don't rub that slime off. But these are the things you need to learn about these fish. And every single fish that we can talk about that's part of our area is special that way. The walleyes and all the efforts that the volunteers in our towns along here have done over the past to make sure that we have a walleye population that we now have. And I've praised these people, Mike Gagne and Messina, Hank Bouchard and Bob Flavin in Ogdensburg, and there's several others that worked with them. None of these things happen by somebody going out there and doing it alone. We
No.
need teams of volunteers to make this happen.
Because they protect the local environment for future anglers.
But you know, one of the things I'm so proud of now, when we've gone, Linda, when you and I've gone to sports shows in the past, we've had people ask us about guides, and we've never had guides that can help, strangers that come to this area that have never fished here before to really get the most out of being able to fish here.
Yes.
And the guides that we have are wonderful. They're really, because they're dedicated to the savior, saving these species of
The
fish.
preservation.
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks. Preservation's a much better word than savior. But
One thing I would leave your listeners with is that if they want more information about Trout Unlimited and how they can get involved or just to learn more, the website is Trout Unlimited, TU.org. It's that simple. You can go online, you can find out what the organization is doing, how you can get involved, if you want to volunteer, if you want to spread the word, if you want to donate. It's all there for the local angler to find out.
and there you have it, folks. Until next time, this is Don and Linda with the North Country Fishing Report.